Hello, it's Big Cheds, and this is the Trading Encyclopedia Daily Education playlist on my YouTube at Cheds Trading. Find me on Twitter at Big Cheds and Bitcoin Live, where I'm a founding analyst. For today's lesson, we're going to talk about the length of an advance and what it means for the length of the consolidation and just some rules of thumb for classical charting. So, what we already know from classical charting, there's several things, for example, that have to do with time, right? So, for a level to be formed, you need to have multiple attempts with time interval in between the attempts, right? We also know the more times a level is tested, the more important it is. We also know things like measured moves. Measured moves, which aren't based on time, but are based on height. So if you have a double bottom, right? Peak, trough, and your measured move we know is based on the height of the consolidation. So if you take something like an advance, all right, you take an advance, a long advance like this often will lead to a lengthy consolidation. When you begin here in Bitcoin with the outside bar after several advancing weeks, it makes sense at that point to have several weeks sideways after the fact to digest the move. Moves need to be digested. A short move requires a shorter period of digestion or consolidation before it can resolve. So we have this longer advance leading to a longer consolidation. Following this breakout, we had a very brief advance, and then again, another suggestion of consolidation with the spinning top, but the idea that likely a much shorter consolidation following the shorter advance. So you can have a pretty good sense of how long the consolidation is going to be based on the advance beforehand. Here we had a pretty lengthy advance to reach this peak from October 2024 through December of 2024, and then a rather lengthy consolidation followed it. Now, of course, the longer the consolidation, the more important the break is one way or another, right? So the same thing with the more times a level is tested, the more important it will be if and when it's broken, the significance of it, given how many times it was tested. So the longer the advance, the longer the consolidation, and the length of that consolidation carries greater significance if it's a longer consolidation. So have a good sense of what you're looking at, what you should be seeing in the price in terms of consolidation, and then prepare yourself for that. This is part of the Trading Encyclopedia Daily Education series on my YouTube at Cheds Trading. Find me on Twitter at Big Cheds and Bitcoin Live, where I'm a founding analyst. Thank you, everybody. I hope you're enjoying these. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.